All right, so the setup for this cage dangling over the quicksand pits was that it was propped up between two large mandibles that had been emerging out from the Avernian wastes. Like giant June bug mandibles, about 40 or 50 feet high, that sort of meet in the middle with a chain tether that this rig had been suspended from. With the rig not up there, the mandibles actually slightly adjust, pulling back from each other, as if whatever ancient creature left these behind was opening it, ready to eat new prey.
This is Sarlacc.
The unicorn will be slowly digested over 1,000 years. However, aside from
I
that...
just made it Moe's.
Yeah. I'll make your asshole explode. Aside from the rescue of Mooncolor, there doesn't appear to be anything else going on here. This is an empty waste. The demons...
I think we missed a little bit of the finding the Ark of the Covenant. That happened last time, right?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, you're right. The Ark of the Covenant sitting in the middle of the road.
Yeah.
Not at all suspicious.
Yep. Oh shit! We didn't open up to see if it was full of kittens. Oh fuck! Maybe that's what's going on.
I mean, we've had great luck with mysterious boxes sitting in the middle of the road in this campaign.
I don't feel so good. It's all the kitten meat.
Oh my god!
Carol,
money!
By the way, Kate was not fibbing. Wombats poop cubes. There's your proof.
Yeah. Poop cubes.
I don't. I was going to say, I don't lie about these things, but I absolutely do.
You absolutely do.
Well, who would lie about wombat poop cubes? I mean, honestly.
It's...
Got any other tricky questions for me?
Well, you got your finger out.
That's stupid. All right,
so is it possible that whatever creature these mandibles belong to is still alive? Or is it just sort of like it's resting in a place and there's nothing holding it together?
Start digging, Dragomir.
I was down there already, thanks, I'm good. Nature check would be with disadvantage still, wouldn't it? With disadvantage, that's a 2.
That's fabulous.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's possible it's still alive.
Cool. Let's not, we should not stand between the mandibles. It still looks hungry.
Maybe we freed 2 pets today. Maybe we can have it follow us around too.
Tell you what, Giant Beetle, you can eat the unicorn.
It'll always be with us.
Maybe you Thad.
However, you at this point are, let's see, whereabouts on the map? You are basically right where that weird little J is, right there. Yep, you pointed with your glasses. That's basically where you're at. And you know that Tiamat's domain is somewhere up in this vicinity.
Where that big old dragon skull would be?
Yes.
Yeah, just,
So, speaking of which, let's see.
Where does the giant dragon live?
Carol Levaun is on this side of this crevasse. That's where she said her encampment is. And that there is a ferryman that will cross the river Styx in this region somewhere up here. This region over here, you've heard some talk of here and there. Not in character yet, because I haven't had any reason to bring it up, but now that you're getting closer to it, especially being this close in the Uldrak the Tinker's garage, that's called the Pit of Shummrath. And it is a gigantic pit of undulating green slime.
Mountain Dew.
Green, not yellow.
Ectoplasm.
Ectogism.
See, so, you could pick the name The Pit, the Shummrath, but you picked Moon Color. Not you. I'm thinking at this poor dumb unicorn.
And it sends you a telepathic message of it nodding.
Of it flipping you off, but it's not doing anything because it's just a fucking flip.
Yeah, it's just holding a bubble at me.
It's like...
I don't get that.
Well, no, his face is constantly flipping you off at all times.
The end of his unicorn horn is just a middle finger. He's a fucker horn.
We're at that J, so we could either... I think we would have to go over this and then make a giant U-turn. Because this looks like the crevasse goes all the way to Styx.
Yeah, there are places where a vehicle going fast enough could cross that crevasse, where it's a little bit narrower than indicated on the map, but it is still, as you point out, it does go all the way to the river.
Do we have any demon gnaws?
You do have some demon nos. There's also the bridge all the way over on that side.
Yeah.
Potentially cross.
Which it's hell, so it's got to be a toll bridge, and we're broke.
Yeah.
Team broke.
It's just the GW.
Well, that's like a $10 fare. Yeah.
Also, that's going to take us a lot longer, because this is almost a straight shot here. but having to go all the way out and then all the way around.
Yeah, I say we demon nos it over.
I
over
want
the
to
crevasse.
see what this baby can do.
Yeah, let's open this thing up. We haven't done demon nos yet.
Yeah.
We should play with that. Then we know what its
Demon nos
capabilities
sex?
Demon.
are. Yeah.
I mean, he's here.
It is in house. Well, I think he's farther down.
Plus, I'm thinking these are Circle K's, so we got a place to stop.
Yeah.
Their coffee is actually pretty good. So anyway, yeah, I vote for nossing over the crevasse.
Yeah.
The Nos crevasse. Noted.
The Kronos.
The crevasse with Das. Nos Vidania. Alright, so that means you're going to be going around a little bit. I need a navigation check from Mr. Zanzaroni. And I need a quartermaster check from the quartermaster.
Do better this time.
And those are still at disadvantage too, right?
Can I
Oh,
get
yeah,
guidance from you for this? Because I don't want to fuck it up like last time.
See, last time you crit, I fucked it
Zippity
up.
bop, bop, bop.
Ooh, I'm glad I did took it. So that's going to be an 11. I'm sorry, that ain't right.
219.
13.
Ooh.
We eating good in the neighborhood.
Alright. What did you get?
We roll up on our next day.
It's survival, right?
Yes.
So a total of 18.
Cool. 1 ration. That's the first time you've ever made the check.
Hey, I admitted with disadvantage. I rolled 2 19s.
That's amazing.
I know.
You
No, I
got
think we made the
13
check a
on the-
couple times.
total of
but-
13?
13 on the survival, yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
okay. Awesome.
I'm glad I took that guidance.
Let me see how bad this gets for you.
And it's another day off the tracker, right?
Yes, please.
Okay, so we're down to 4 soul coins.
And 4 days of rations. Probably gonna have to get creative with the diet before we get home. Yeah, let's not power this shit.
Let's not eat Nemea. She looks too pointy.
Will do.
Hey.
Why does it taste like cigars and bird shit?
Moon color. I bet moon color tastes delicious.
Yes.
The moon color makes you trip balls.
So yeah, it's like rainbow sherbet, and you're still having like hallucinations on Monday of the long
You should see what your
weekend.
shit looks like later. It's got glitter in it.
Ooh, that hurts.
it's great. It cleans out your intestines. Like. Anyway, speaking of eating unicorns,
Internal exfoliant.
your navigation skills leave something to be desired as you kind of find yourself veering off course slightly. You're not really sure where on this map you are anymore. You don't have any landmarks that you can draw from.
Nice.
But you know that you were going vaguely in the direction that you were aiming for. What you do find is that there is a large open pit, and it's surrounded with fields of scorched red slag.
Or
that is
back to
settled.
Holyoke.
Yes.
Lots of slags in Holyoke.
lots of melted, like still sizzling slag that is just sitting in the dust and dirt around this gigantic hole. However, the hole is also ringed with colossal, writhing tentacles. They are segmented with chitinous bits all around them, and they appear to be doing this sort of weird, amorphous, patternless twitching and writhing, mostly angled upwards, but occasionally one sort of droops down towards the sand and scoops up a big handful of it and then just drops it from a height of about 60 feet.
It's Burning Man.
That's what I do on the beach sometimes. Just
Get under the hill, yeah.
Alright, so this is kind of creepy as fuck, eh?
yeah.
White
What if we
bird?
throw something in?
Like who?
The Ark of the Covenant?
I don't know, I just... Okay, yeah, no, we shouldn't.
Actually,
I just
maybe
wanted to
this
put
is the
that
place
thought
we
in
open the
everybody's head.
Ark of the Covenant. If it's cursed, we just kick it into the slug.
Feed the Sarlacc.
Or we just drive through it, or past it,
Or
around it.
Around
Yeah.
it, yeah. Yeah, I'm not interested in going through this thing.
Fair enough.
All right.
I'll keep my harpoon eye trained on the horizon.
How wide of a berth do you want to give this pit?
How big are the tentacles?
Estimating how long the tentacles are.
Maybe
Twice that.
40 to 60 feet, depending on the tentacle.
120 feet.
Yeah.
Yep.
Twice that distance.
Yeah.
Okay. Give me another navigation
121
check.
foot
Sans.
tentacles. Just crushes your shit.
One more navigation check, navigator. You don't need to roll anything. It's still the same day.
Oh, okay.
Can she guidance me again? She can do that
Yes.
infinitely, right? Oops.
As long as you remember to ask and it's not something that,
Yeah.
you know,
That's better. 25.
25. Okay. You did veer off course, but what you do find is that eventually you find your way back to the pit of Shummrath, which is a pretty good landmark to find. It appears to be at a section of the pit where it is narrowing into that crevasse that you saw on the map. The pit is, as described, filled with undulating green slime, almost like there is a slow tide going in and out, although it doesn't actually crest any higher where it meets the sand and silt of the Avernian plains. This translucent ooze, in our modern context, literally looks like green jello. It is like vibrant, intensely green. It has that sort of consistency when it sort of slaps up against various stones and other chitinous leavings that are
Is
adjacent
this
to the
like
pit.
the mother, like in kombucha, but for gelatinous cubes?
Wow.
That would be Jewablex, and that's a demon lord, I think.
That'd be a demon lord, yeah.
But does Dragomir know that? No.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, it is. This is absolutely that thing you said.
Great.
Where Bill Cosby comes from.
Probably. But it does make awkward and uncomfortable sort of wet slapping noises as it slaps.
Are there
against
like
the
like
rocks.
friskies stuck in it?
There are no friskies.
Does your cat by any chance eat jello?
And it's like lean over, macaroni in a pot.
There are various bones and things strewn through it, the way that you may have encountered with gelatinous cubes in the past. So perhaps swimming through it would
That
be a
will
bad
happen.
idea.
It's gotta be the guy.
This is where we dispose of a body if we had one to dispose
There's also a, particularly further in, and it seems to be sort of carried into the middle by this awkward, undulating current. Sort of a glossy film that is reflecting light in such a way that it gives this kaleidoscopic purple and orange light to the surface. Some sort of bizarre filmy fluid that is resting atop this undulating slime. And every once in a while...
So gross.
Welcome to hell. And every once in a while, as it undulates, there's like a ripple that comes up from the center of this area, and it splashes this sort of oily, goopy fluid all over the body of this ooze, and it slowly coalesces back into a puddle in the center region of the oozy pit.
I set up my tripod and the camera with a delay timer. Come on, kids, we're gonna get a picture in front of the world's biggest ooze pit.
And
It's cultural.
On the opposite side of the crevasse, there's actually a part where the shoreline, it's not really a shore, it's a crevasse, so it's almost a sheer cliff face in most places. And there's a spot where it rises up a little bit into like a slowly rolling hill that looks like it was cut in half by this pit opening up. And on the opposite side, there is a series of cliff face wall dwellings. If you're familiar with the Native American out in Phoenix, the wall of dwellings.
Pueblo.
Yes, thank you. Couldn't remember the name of it. It looks like that, but the dwellings are very
Or the
small.
Martians from Futurama.
Or the Martians from Futurama. The dwellings are very small, so it must be a small creature. Dwellings that would be fit for like halflings that are made into this cliff face, and they look like they are ancient, but they are used. There are actually small white wood railings to prevent people from falling into the ooze, and all sorts of riggings made with like tight knotted rope that you can see from this distance.
Of course, hell would have an OSHA.
It's like the world's shittiest Airbnb.
I mean, this is a plane of law.
Yeah.
OSHA makes sense.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
no, absolutely. That's what I'm saying.
There is a large rigging set up of some sort of black metal that has a series of thank you, a series of hand cranks on one side and a series of ropes, and it looks like the ropes could be lowered or raised, but all they're doing is lowering or raising into the pit of slime, and some of them terminate under the surface of the slime, and other ones appear to have buckets attached to the end as if it's being harvested.
All right.
Gross.
Well, I have several questions.
It's Jello.
What would want to live here? What are they doing with the slime? And how do we get away from here as soon as possible?
As soon as-
Hellings, stuff you only find on the internet, and
Jackals. Jackal? Jackal. It's a jackal.
Jackal Daddy.
Jackal Daddy immediately comes and fucks you in the ass. Wait, he immediately fucks you in the ass, then comes. There we go. We got it.
Refuses to elaborate and leaves.
We'll never call you again.
I mean, we don't have any business with the slime people, so...
Yeah.
I mean, I know exploration is a pillar of D&D, but fuck these slime people and everything they stand for.
Hey, Lulu,
It's
any
Marky
idea what
Salomon.
this is? Does Lulu have any idea what this is?
Lulu says, yeah, actually, let me make a history check for you. Yep, so this is called the Pit of Shummrath, or something like that. And it's full of some sort of ooze, and it said that the ooze actually used to be a creature, right? And it got cursed or something. And now it's this big oozy creature or some shit like that. It's like a guy or something.
Can I roll some smartness on this?
Give me a religion check, and the DC is going to be
It's a bit of
25.
Gordon Shumway. Self.
Oh my god. That's
Religion? Okay, there's a possibility that I could pull this off.
Wow,
think
that
you
was very
did.
good.
I think I did because I have a +7.
Wow. All right.
Fuck yeah! Go me!
Your brain works good.
I'm not exhausted.
Yeah, she's not tired.
Yeah.
That helps.
What a good night's rest will do for you.
But also,
And a
not,
ton of wizard cocaine.
not boiling in the desert because she has fire resistance.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
true.
And she's been sitting in the backseat drinking her juice box and playing Mad Libs, so like...
Yeah.
And she's literate, which is something neither one of us can read.
Yeah,
I am.
She can speak, read, and write Dwarven, but Dwarven is basically pop-up books.
I mean, I have average intelligence.
They have
so,
800 words for rock.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, you try remembering all 800 words. It's hard.
I don't need to. I just say rock. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. Wizard dumb.
You can't read.
Amazing. All right, so Nenea, this is a check that would normally be outside the bounds that you would be able to achieve with your knowledge alone. So why don't you give me a little yarn about how it is that you learn some fresh knowledge? Are you casting a spell? Or are you doing some sort of scientific research?
So, I mean, you asked me to make a religion roll. So, I'm going to meditate and ask for, like, big guy up there help from my guy. And see, and, like, it's not so much like it immediately comes to me. It's kind of like, does anybody have heated seats in their car?
Yeah.
Oh, so you piss your pants?
I piss my pants and I know the answer. But, like,
I heard that's how
it's sort
Einstein
of
came
like
up with relativity.
the memory comes over me like that sort of warmth, and it's almost like this is getting so weird. You asked me to get narrative.
Keep
at
going.
least
Try to ignore these two.
Yeah.
That's a generally good rule anyway.
They're not wrong, though. It's funny.
I didn't say anything.
I wasn't judging you.
Oh, you kind of were.
But it sort of comes into focus really, really slowly, and it's almost like it's sort of like when you take your binoculars and you're like twisting them and you're like trying to get exactly the right. It's like that.
Or like one of those magic eye pictures.
Yeah, it's like that, but a memory. And the minute it sort of the answer sort of snaps into focus, my little amulet gets a little bit warm.
Okay, I'm going to add a little bit to this. So,
Because I don't know what I'm talking about.
yeah, no, this is great. This is a good premise.
WWTD.
And I have something for you. So, you start to meditate, and as you described, it's like trying to get into focus.
Yeah.
Much like when you are getting your eyes checked, there's this sort of flick as something sort of rotates in and changes the perspective from two different sides. But you're getting two different sides, and they're clicking at different orders, and they don't seem to line up. So what you're really waiting for is to maintain this focus and concentration long enough for both sides to be in focus at the same time. As this is occurring, you're hearing a voice, but the voice sounds like it's coming from all around you, as if walking around in a circle around your periphery while you're meditating. While it's on one side of your head, it's the voice of Theodosius. While it's on the other side of your head, it's the voice of the Shield of the Hidden Lord.
Okay.
And it appears that as you try to maintain your focus and hear the words that they're saying, and you can hear nothing but them and your own heartbeat and your breathing, that they are having this, like, it's one conversation, but the voice is changing, so it's not a call and response. Mm-hmm. But, like, each one of them seems to be seizing control of the conversation and sort of diverting it to a different topic. They're not outright warring against each other, but it's obvious they're pulling in different directions.
Okay.
And you're sort of waiting it out for each of them to change the focus of your perspective until it's something that you can understand and recognize. What you eventually get from this fairly jarring experience is that Shummrath is the name of a former pit fiend of hell. One of the very high up, and in fact one of Bel's Elite Eight, of the Defenders of Avernus in the Blood War, one of the progenitors of the Devil race from the original fall of Devilkind. It was one of Bel, when Bel was in charge, one of his right-hand devils, and was a prominent force before that as well. However, sometime before the reign of Zerial, there was a falling out between this creature and Bel condemned him to a life of servitude by condensing him into the form of a grotesque slime. A slime which slowly regenerates over time, which has caused it to grow massive and fill the entire chasm. There are properties of this ooze that are relevant for magical interests of those of an infernal bent, particularly in the construction of homunculi and flesh golems.
Okay.
The gross stuff.
Oh, so
It's necromancers like Toys R Us.
Kind of, yeah.
so do we think I have relayed this to them because I'm not going to be able to repeat what you said, but do we think that the little slime guys are golems?
You know, that does make a weird kind of sense because they'd probably be immune to whatever sort of weird stuff this exposure to this slime would do to you. And maybe those buckets they're bringing up, they're collecting slime to make more golems or something like that.
Just to sell as stalking bones. This thing's got more uses than just that.
Yeah.
This is the PCBs of hell. It's in all the high-end electronics. You know.
I think, and I'm going to pose this as a question to everybody, for the sake of fairness and maybe not so much of my reckless nature, do we think it may be worth trying to get some?
Ooh,
Because A, I wonder if it would be useful, and B, I wonder if it's worth any money.
well, slipping into my Dragomir voice. It may be worth money, but we don't know to who. It seems dangerous to try and harvest.
No. It wouldn't be the first time I stuck my hand into a soft, slimy body.
It's true, the last time you got a bag of beans.
This time I will come out with no flesh, probably.
Chuck the beans in there and see what happens.
Oh my god.
You
I
get
have 7. No, I have
the
6
original Jello casserole from hell.
Ooh.
You invent 1950s cooking.
I invent aspic.
So, okay, so my answer to your question about trying to harvest some is it seems like the easiest way to do that would be to use the rigging system these slime-dwelling people have already rigged up. They have a mechanism in place to do exactly what you're saying. They're on the other side of the chasm. Why don't we jump the chasm, take a good look at what's going on over there, and decide whether or not the risk is worth the reward?
Okay. And so the name of the chasm is the name of the old god that was condensed into
So
juice?
yes, it's the pit of Shummrath, and Shummrath was the name of the pit fiend that became the juice.
The juice is loose.
The juice is not loose. The juice is confined to a chasm.
Juice is in the
Also,
loose.
we're gonna need some hardcore Tupperware if we want to bring this thing back in the screen machine.
Okay, stay off of my Pornhub.
There's that part of me. There's that part of me that's like, I will absolutely not do this, but I would. There's part of me that's like, put it in the car.
It's gonna, if it spills, it's gonna fuck up the interior. You're gonna have to pay for the detailing.
So we open up the Ark of the Covenant, figure out what's in there, and then once we release,
Put it in the Ark of the
release
Covenant.
whatever's in there, we just fill the Ark of the Covenant with
We
slime.
release, we throw away all the holy relics inside, and then we scoop up evil jizz and
The stupid old
duct tape
cup
the
and
seam. We're done.
couple of stone tablets.
look, some dumb dwarf was renting on rock.
Yeet. Some dwarf was rotting in casket.
Oh no.
But anyway, so this is one of those things where I feel like we're going to cart around like a gallon of slime for like the entire adventure. It's never going to be useful until like level 14 when it's all of a sudden the thing we need, you know?
At least we know it's here.
We do. It's not going anywhere.
It's not going anywhere.
Okay.
We hope.
But I will say, like, it could be a thing about, it could be a heist of an opportunity. If we get to the other side, it's like, hey, there's a bucket of the shit sitting right here. Let's just grab it and go.
Yeah.
I'm down for that.
Also, I would say the Scream Machine has a weight capacity, right?
It does. It can hold about 100 pounds plus U4.
Okay, and we've already got the Ark of the Covenant in there. I don't want to put a gallon of slime. Like, I don't want
True.
to cart around shit we don't have to. If
We
we've
gotta
weight
save
limit.
some weight for the other shit we're supposed to be picking up.
Lulu also consumes about 25 pounds of your cargo capacity.
Yeah.
What's the unicorn doing?
Jogging alongside. It actually does not get tired.
My headcanon told me that we had
Oh, such a bitch.
the unicorn sitting in like a sidecar with some rat.
Oh, God, it's steering.
Wearing a flight cap and a scarf.
And it's like, when we really speed up, it's like lips go, all these big horse teeth.
No, sorry, I don't like it.
No, it's just running alongside the scream machine and you hear, always, I wanna make believe.
Zanzer's opposed to any side quest at this point. We're already wasting enough time.
Yeah.
We got to,
Well, and the other thing
we've
is
got a
like
city to rescue.
impromptu heists are best done by well-rested parties who are not rolling with disadvantage on their
Yeah.
checks.
That's actually very fair.
All right.
And we've already got one side quest on our plate.
Yeah.
So you're going to pass by the giant pit of tentacles, and you're going to pass by the giant crevasse. I don't know what you guys want, frankly. Is it something with holes in the ground?
You wrote it on cards over here. These are the things we want.
Oh.
Also a fucking nap. That would be cool.
Here,
You
give me
get the
another card.
If you jump into the crevasse, you get the longest nap.
You could say it's a permanent one.
Yes.
It's like sleeping on a giant water bed
I think you mean
that
wet
eats
dream.
you. A
That's
water
different thing.
casket.
Wow. All right. So giving it a wide berth. The crevasse does tend to narrow at maybe another mile away from the point that you've found after Zanzer got you back on track. As it narrows, you find something very interesting. The ooze actually does terminate in this crack. It doesn't go all the way to the river Styx, but the fluid of the river Styx does. It fills in the gap and actually is pooling on the surface of the slime. You now have found the origin of that oily film that you saw on the surface of...
Good thing we did not touch that.
Do you think they're harvesting... I'm turnstiling an imaginary thing, so it's okay. Do you think they're harvesting the water that's pouring on top from the river Styx because they can erase the memories of living creatures and turn them into golems?
Well, the ropes go beneath the slime.
That's
That's a fucking
some
marketing
fucking
opportunity.
all top there shit.
I'm gonna get an IPO together to fucking bottle that product.
All right, Mervin, calm down. we don't need any demonic tax shelters at this particular moment.
I mean, it's Mervin. He'll show up soon enough.
Yeah.
Let's blinker on.
Forgot my asthma medication.
So yeah, let's nos our way over this.
Nosferatu.
All right.
Do we think we need to put the? Is it wide enough that we think we need to put the?
You're pretty confident, having driven the scream
shorts
machine
with
now
the
for like a
shorts.
10-day, that it would not be able to make the jump without it. Now, in terms of how far you could get with the NOS, you haven't experimented with it, so you're not sure. What I will tell you is mechanically, if you use the NOS, I will allow you to add a D6 to your piloting check. If you double dose the NOS, I will let you add a D12 to your piloting check.
How many vials do we have?
I don't know. Two.
We need one.
We need
to
one
get
for this
back
return
over.
trip.
Unless we go over the bridge.
We're backtracking, going well out of our way to do that. Plus,
On our-
who knows what is going to be the cost of going over the bridge?
We thought the person we're looking for is like by that pi symbol, right?
Yeah, right there.
That would
what
be.
it looks like from my angle.
That'd be Carol's camp, but we know Carol isn't there right now. It's
Carol's
gonna be an
currently
empty-
at the
okay.
garage. So this is where she lives. She says she wants Feanor to come home. Where you're going is actually out to here.
But we think the ferry person.
The ferry
Yeah.
ride is here, yeah.
I'm saying if we double up on the NOS going this way, we might be able to, once we're done with everything over here,
Take
Go,
the bridge back.
take the bridge back.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's worth doing. Plus, I'd like to check out the bridge at some point just to see what the deal is, because I guarantee there's something you have to do to go over. It's not just driving over the
Oh,
bridge.
yeah, no.
We do know this is hell, and we're being tempted to basically burn through all our resources by somebody. So I
Yeah,
just wanted
yep.
to point that out.
Okay, so 0 demon juice left.
What?
Here's my big concern, is that I have a level of exhaustion, so I'm going to be rolling with disadvantage, correct?
That is correct, yeah.
What skill are you using to pilot?
Land vehicle
Land
proficiency.
vehicle proficiency.
Yeah.
Do we think that ladies camp there? What's her name?
Carol DeBeck.
Carol
Carol
Baskins.
Danvers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why are long lost husband is Timothy Robbins or something? Baskin Robbins. I don't know
Yeah.
why they don't do that. Anyway, do you think her camp, like, we could rest there?
We could check it out. I think it'd be worth doing.
Yeah.
I mean, she's not there. I don't know. This lady seems like she
Find
have
the key
like.
under the mat and just fucking crash in her pad.
I mean, it's probably the closest thing to a resting spot between here and there. I think we should at least try.
Yeah.
Yeah, my pitch for doing the double dose of NOS is it's going to take. We're going to have to cross the crevasse to get there, and so there's no point in not doing it.
So yeah, I get what you're saying. If we don't make it across, then there's no point in saving Nos for a return trip.
Yeah. Gattaca.
I was thinking more of like Sam from Lord of the Rings.
Oh, yeah.
Save rationing for the return trip home. Yeah, no, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Okay, 0 demon juice.
0 demon juice.
Goops it.
Maybe Ingrid should take a little taste of that to see if she can get rid of her exhaustion. Maybe it's like it's like some sort of uppers.
We're all putting demon Nos in our coffee. Which is the equivalent of the wizard cocaine from our other game.
All right.
Yeah.
So land vehicles is just proficiency, right?
You should guidance her too.
Proficiency and also your intelligence.
And can I guidance her? Because I would love to do that.
Yes.
Grab a D4.
Difforder.
Grab a pointy lad.
Snap into a Slim Jim.
Is there anything Mooncolor can do to give her any kind of boost?
I don't think he's got that.
Hey,
kind of
Mooncolor, are
thing.
you gonna fucking do anything, or are you just gonna sit your pretty ass there?
Sit there and eat all my oats.
Rude. Calm emotions, but that ain't gonna do jack in this.
I'm double dosing the NOS. Like, I don't want calm emotions here.
It can teleport itself.
Yeah, it'll wait
Like
until you
3
cross
people.
successfully.
And then just,
and then
like,
if you do.
Yeah. It's just gonna peek
As we're
out.
going down the crevasse, it'll go. Boink!
Yeah, it's gonna peek out the sunroof and be like,
Screw
"This
you
is that."
guys!
Which I also am.
They
going
can take
to
three
step
willing
out of here.
creatures,
This
so
goes
I'm being
tips
like
up.
very funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Sorry,
really.
guys.
And Lulu's probably safe, so it's just me and Xanzer that are going to be fucked if we crash.
Well, I could probably cast.
Feather
Feather
falls.
fall.
So they fall slowly into the river Styx and die.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll think fondly of
And
you
Enya
two.
plays in the background.
Alright, here goes.
Big money.
No whammies.
Oh,
No
you think it's
whammies.
12.
Ooh.
Wow.
All right. All right.
Does it
Ah.
get
So
26?
Nope, that is
Yeah, 26.
19,
Oh, plus proficiency.
26, 30.
26 on the dice. Okay, wow, alright.
So we
Do
fucking.
you want a little narration here? Do you want to color it in?
You actually jump so high you hit the bottom of El Terrell.
Oh, it's scraped
It
up
takes
the paint.
Mooncolor's head clear off.
Oh my god. Yeah, how's Mooncolor getting across?
Teleport.
Teleport.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's just a way
Cheaty
to-
fucking horse.
It's the only teleport of the day, but it's
Yeah.
okay.
So Ingrid kind of looks back and makes sure everyone is like, are y'all buckled up?
Now,
And,
buckle this.
I'm just sitting there like, go! And
Follow the lever, Kronk!
with a little bit of quick handwork, flips up the tank for the NOS, uncaps it, pours one in, pours another one in, and then just fucking floors it.
When you do this, there is a
Oh,
flame.
and I lay on the horn that makes the scream machine scream. No,
No,
I'm thinking the intro to CSI.
Pretty much, yeah. It is actually a pre-recorded sound of a banshee's wail. Because it's been pre-recorded, it doesn't have the killing you effect.
Oh,
But it
good.
does sound
good.
horrific as you do this. And when you do so, there is an engine on the back of the craft you didn't see when you first got it, but a plate actually drops out when you open the shield for the NOS, and a flame shoots out the back that's about 40 foot long.
Ew!
Originally, it is a green and yellow flame, but it becomes this sort of dark, smoky purple after you pour the ichor in. And the smoke coming off comes off like smoke rings shaped like screaming skull faces.
Oh, it's so fucking brutal!
I like,
It's a
the,
beautiful day!
I like the idea that this is in slow motion and all of our faces are like, whoa!
Xander's holding onto the back of the headrest.
There's a
Dragonair's got his helmet on, but like mid jump, the visor just goes ka-chunk.
Lulu is holding onto the headrest of the seat in front of her. Her legs and butt come up off the seat. She's holding on like this, and she shits, and you're mid-flight, and the poop just goes rocking back.
My brains are going into my feet!
When we land, it's like that scene in Planet Trains and Automobiles where like they're pulling their fingers out of the dashboard and the steering wheel's bent over and
Actually, to add to that, when we land, Ingrid will Tokyo drift to
Oh, God.
burn off some of the excess
Yes.
energy so it'll keep us going.
It's actually with a 30 check. DC was 26 to avoid damage to the car on the landing.
Nice.
And you do manage to stick to the landing, and after you find some looser terrain, so it's a little bit safer, you're able to sort of slide, and not to a stop. The car has enough momentum that even Tokyo drifting, you sort of like slide, halt momentum, and it continues to roll forward. And the sound of your blood pumping through your body rings in your ears as you finally manage to white knuckle your way to a safe driving speed. And the last gasps of smoking gas come out the back of the wagon, and then the slot automatically slides back up into position in the back, covering up that engine. And you are now traveling at a normal traveling speed on the opposite side of the crevasse.
He's pretty good car.
Let's
Ingrid,
do that
take
again.
inspiration.
I already have inspiration.
Ah, too bad. Now you have it again.
Sanzu leans over the door and just loses his lungs. Pukes all at the side of the thing.
So your objective was to find Carol Devon's house while she's not home.
Yep.
Yeah, and maybe maybe she's got a trailer park in her backyard we could prop up in.
Okay. Let's see. I want everybody who is trying to look for a place. Actually, I want Xanzer to roll first. So Xanzer, give me a perception check.
Really?
Oh, she's got a hell security system. So.
That's what I was worried about with all these golems and shit. Actually, golems.
15.
No, she doesn't do golems, right?
You saw her.
We're not
do
going to judge.
constructs. Constructs were her thing.
Yeah, but we said golems, and she got all kind of nitpicky on us.
And then everybody who's not Xanzer, give me a perception check with disadvantage.
Haha, I already have
Yeah,
disadvantage.
that's the
Fuck
only
you.
way I do that. 5.
Perception is 12.
Perception.
The skill I literally never fucking use, so I actually have to look for it.
11.
You're having some trouble finding her house. This is a very wide open plain, and visibility is poor. You suspect that the structure that she lives in, if she truly is just living with constructs and not other people, probably not very large. Cruising around, you don't find it at first blush. Maybe if you spend some more time looking, you might find it. One thing you do find is that there is a surprising amount of flora here. All sorts of strange, hellish flowers and mushrooms appear to be dotting the landscape, and they're getting denser as you travel in this direction. At first, it's sort of like red-leafed ferns and large, willow trees. And the sort of fluffy, fuzzy stuff on the willow branches looks like flames. It's actually orange and red. But they do not burn, and they are actually cool to the touch, if providing a little bit of an itch when you touch them.
Is there any sort of I mean, I have a arcane focus, so I don't know if spell components are necessarily but can I do an arcana check or a nature check or something
Yeah,
on
you
this?
could arcana roll, see if anything here would be of value.
That's a natural
Wow.
20.
Yeah.
So 27, actually.
So the first thing you're finding is that these plants, and they do look like plants at first, the fungus is sort of intermittent, but for the most part it's dense with plants. Many of them could be used for various spell component purposes, but it's sort of like substituting an ingredient in a recipe. You're not going to get exactly the same results, and there's something decidedly off-putting about the type of product that you're using in this instance. You're not necessarily sure if the effect on your spells would be a net win, but you certainly could use these things for various spells and rituals without a doubt.
Could at least.
Yeah, that's not ominous at all. Not fucking touching any of that shit.
Might be able to sell or
Sell
trade
it,
it.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
plants don't weigh very much, so we're not gonna
Yeah.
be particularly bothered by her.
Lily starts eating some of the willow tree fuzz, and she's like, "Why is my mouth all numb?"
Okay.
He's cloves.
Matches your brain, clearly.
Wow, Xander with the hot shots.
It's how he likes them.
You don't want a cold shot.
No.
Well, I was gonna say, brain numb.
Looking at his dating history, and Xander's more of a salad shooter kind of guy.
Wow.
All right. But yeah, so you could absolutely harvest some of these if you want to have them on hand for spells or trade. I would call for a nature check for somebody to do that work.
I'll
Or
do it.
survival roll.
I'll do it. I've got some nature.
Okay.
I'd like to try to.
You have a nature about you.
Ooh,
No,
I can't see it. What is it?
I can't see it either. It's underneath the leaf.
Reroll it.
Where is it?
I gotta find it.
Okay, there it is. 18.
Okay. How much quantity do you want to harvest in pounds?
In pound? I don't know, like...
Remember, over a certain point, it's trafficking. It's a felony.
I was holding it for a friend.
These aren't my pants.
Like, I don't want... How much do we think would be... Like, I don't know.
I mean,
I don't want to be, like, walking around with, like, 15...
individual spells call for usually, like, a pinch or, like, you know, like...
Maybe, like, 2 pounds.
Yeah.
I'll take 2 pounds of... What are these called?
2 pounds a week.
Just call it
We're definitely not intending to sell it.
floral spell component.
2 pounds of plants is a lot, too.
Yeah, it's a pretty hefty amount. Takes up some space, but your cargo is limited by weight, not by size.
No, it's okay. I got my little freaking... the vacuum
She starts
seal.
putting-
I vacuum
dehydrator.
seal it into bricks.
She starts putting in little balloons and feeding it to the unicorn.
Amazing.
The unicorn's white. It won't get checked at TSA.
It just teleports over.
Brian, have this and inspiration.
the rare double whammy.
Yep, a double fister. You are able to harvest some plants, but as you are getting further and further away from the crevasse that you jumped, you find that the plants are giving way to more of a mushroom overtone, and the mushrooms are gargantuan. It starts off as little toadstools dotting the way, would be large for terrestrial mushrooms, but not outside the realm of possibility. And then they sort of become like furniture-sized at some points. And then as you get further and further away from the river, the plants completely disappear, and you're left with these towering mushrooms that are as much as 8 to 12 foot high, with stalks like wood, and they sort of droop over you. Every once in a while, like a gust of wind carries a blast of hot ash, and it just hits the top of the toadstools and scatters off like an umbrella.
Okay, like, am I within sight? Like, I haven't gotten lost yet.
No, the whole group, I assume, is
Great.
traveling.
Yeah.
Great. Okay.
You're about to go Alice in Wonderland. Start eating the mushrooms and talking to rabbits and shit.
Can I mean, I know you gave you a perception check. I don't know if I can use survival because that's kind of a tracking skill to see if there's a path through this. Like a
Sure, yeah.
like is it an actual path or are we just sort of fucking meandering like?
Are we within sight of the River Styx or an offshoot of
At
it?
this point, you're a little farther away. You know where it is because it's behind you, and you know how to double your way back. You haven't gotten lost. Sansor's checks have been pretty good.
So I guess I'll ask absently to whoever's listening. I know you're busy doing things, but where are they getting water to grow? Is it from river?
Oh,
16.
that's an interesting thought. Well, maybe, I mean, we are in a different plane. Like, maybe they don't need water.
I mean, we did pass the piss cloud, so it does rain in hell. It just doesn't,
You don't pass the
It
piss
just
cloud. The
doesn't
piss
rain
cloud
good
passes you.
stuff that we need, like water.
It doesn't like rain
Or beer.
potable water, but
Maybe not eat anything from.
Can I
Oh, yeah, no, Chief, we're good there.
What do you
she's
say?
dumb. She's not that dumb.
I have a thing for you from your roll.
Okay, do that
So,
first.
Yeah. I just didn't want to interrupt the in-character chat, but what you get with the survival check isn't necessarily that there is a path through it. It seems pretty haphazard, like it's naturally growing in this configuration. But more that some of the mushrooms that you're encountering are in a state where they are actively sporing.
Ooh.
And you don't know what impact that would have on your respiratory systems to inhale their spores, but you are able to identify which ones are sporing based on some coloration patterns and shape of the trunk. So you can steer people away from what looks like it potentially could be hazardous mushrooms.
Yeah.
I wonder if you
let's
breathe
not-
the dust. If it does come from the River Styx, if you breathe the dust, do you forget shit?
Let's not
Or
find
do you
out.
remember shit that you didn't know?
If that's the case, then we should stick Lulu in there.
Or Nemea.
Nemea's drank away a lot of her memories.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm going to ask you, hey, Lulu, do you think you can fly above these things and see if you see a settlement or like a clearing in them or something? Maybe that's where this Carol person lives.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a look, and she flies straight up. And
Be careful.
Give me a perception check. Her perception skill is
Garbage.
Yeah, it's probably pretty bad. What is it, wisdom based? Yeah, it's +1.
6.
Okay. Yeah, she flutters back down. I didn't see any settlements up there, but I saw some shit. Let me tell the DM to check his notes real quick.
Well, the DM to have his fucking shit together.
Lazy bastard.
I saw some shit. It was called Dragomir.
He's a big old douche. Yeah, I did see a big fucking pillar made out of skulls. That was pretty cool.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it's hell. We know.
On this side of the river or the other side of the river?
On our side.
Pillar of skulls. Okay.
Yeah, it's on top of like a small hill, I don't know, 20, 30 feet up. And then there's this big tower made out of skulls. They're all stacked up on top of each other.
Doesn't really quite sound like Carol's house.
No, but
No,
it was pretty cool.
It doesn't, but if it's high up, maybe it'll give you a vantage point and you can see further out.
So, climb Skull Mountain.
Also, way off in the distance, I saw clouds of dust or smoke or something. Could be someone on the move.
Ooh.
On the march.
They were on the march.
All right, thank you. Jeez. Yeah, I wish we could find Carol's camp. Actually,
So mechanically, I just want to make sure that it's clear for you guys. You don't have any reason to suspect that it's not in this part of the map, but it is going to take time to find it.
And time costs.
Time costs resources. So you can still keep looking for it, it just means you're spending resources to do that.
It's the only reason we're trying to find it is because we think there is a remote possibility that we might be able to get a long rest there. And maybe it's not worth wasting our resources for such a small chance of a long
small
rest.
gain.
Some gains, bro.
I mean, I'm thinking. Processing.
That's dangerous.
Yeah.
Updating. I've updated my journal.
Do you want to, while we're sitting here, I don't know if it matters, but while we're sitting here, thumbs up or ass, you want to do a ping and see what's in the area?
Sure, I mean, it's got a limited range, but I'll... well, actually, no, I've used them all up. I need a long rest.
Okay.
Have you used them all? I don't think you have.
Yeah, I did.
The hell did you use them on? I think you used one in the crypt.
We used a couple in the crypt because
Yeah.
it's got a limited range. And
Yep. And they come back on a long rest, just like everything else.
You took a long rest before you went back to finish the crypt, yeah. All right.
I wanted to ask you, detect magic, what's the range on that? It's not that far, is it? It's like 60 feet or something, 30 feet? Shit.
Very short.
Radius 30 feet.
But you can concentrate on it for, I think, 10 minutes.
Up to 10 minutes, yeah.
Yeah, but I was hoping we could get a beat on where our fucking camp is, because I really want you guys to rest. I really don't want to go, unless we're forced to.
I mean, we could...
I don't want to rest here with spore jizz.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying if there's a group that's on the move, maybe they found the road, and the road goes closer to Carol's house. I mean, Carol
Actually,
travels
that's
by
interesting.
car.
That's interesting. Yeah.
I mean, we don't have to interact with the group, but we can tail them and maybe they go by it.
Yeah, maybe we'll catch the highway where they jump over the sticks to go this way. Maybe we'll maybe we'll spot it. It's the only thing I can think of.
So you guys want me to steer towards the clouds?
That would be my
Can we do
suggestion.
that on the car?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we could take the car through this mushroom jungle? Okay.
Yeah. Lulu says, there's times you might want to hold your breath as we drive through it. You're going to run over some of these rooms.
Okay. Delightful.
I'd sort of preemptively, take a scrap of fabric off of, the
there we go.
longer edge of this sort of thing, and I tie it around my face as tight as I can.
That's actually a capital idea. I think we should all do that. Or at
is-
least Zanza's going to do that too.
would inhaling the spores be basically, in a meta sense, poison?
Or
Yeah.
disease.
Oh, dwarf, right?
Yep.
You can go out there and taste test the Air Force as we go.
Just lick a mushroom and see if you remember your name afterwards.
Actually, I think Mooncolor's got immune to poison too. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, so let's cut the unicorn open, put somebody inside.
Yeah.
Really, fuck this unicorn.
Wow.
Temperature on the inside is lukewarm.
Yeah, it's not a tauntaun.
I thought they smelled bad on the outside.
It's a uniton. It's like a peloton, which is also a horse.
Careful, it'll kill you.
All right, leaders.
It just has a monthly license fee.
Are you all masking up?
I guess, yeah. All right, so yeah, I'll wear a bandito mask to drive through the mushroom jungle.
Cool.
Oh, yeah.
Lulu's just going to fly over it. The unicorn doesn't give a shit. So I want a piloting check from our driver.
I will man the harpoon. I don't know if these guys on the road are hostile or whatever.
Oh, I'll give you guidance.
Oh, cool.
It's one of the only things I can effectively do right now, so...
Oh, that's not good. 13.
13. Okay. Everybody make a DC 16 Constitution saving throw.
DC... Okay. 11.
Nope.
That's a no for me, dog.
What do I have?
You know what? I have. Is it worth it? Probably. I have inspiration. I'm going to try one more time.
Okay.
Why do I have +2 written down next to my strength?
And that's less. Never mind.
Because you have a bonus action you can take that gives you +2 for 10 minutes on those checks.
Of
can I do
note,
that?
you are all
Yeah.
in the car with me. You all get +2 on your saving throw.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, you can use your thing. It's on your bonus
that's
action
15,
section.
man. That's so helpful. Thank you.
That was my
The very
first
first
roll.
one, I
It's a
think.
15.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Once per.
Real good,
short
but not
rest.
good enough.
Not good enough.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm actually going to.
That's okay. We'll be sport bros.
I'm gonna sit on that one and just use the +2 from Dragomir because it only comes back on a short rest.
Fair enough.
I should have done better.
Was it butthole?
That is 12. But I rolled 2 3s.
That's really bad. You also failed, right?
Yes.
19.
You're good.
Fail.
Those of you who failed. Oh, that's pretty low. 6 points of poison damage for each of you.
And I have it because I'm a dwarf, right? I have resistance to
Yes,
poison?
that is true. Yep.
I'm doing great, guys. Just absolutely.
And then I want a DC 10 Wisdom save from the 3 of you who took damage.
Yay.
You get +2 on those as well.
You're good.
Only for that.
Different die.
4, 18. Oh, non-natural 20. I'm
Yep,
fine.
I do. I passed that one.
Oh, hey. Rolling doubles a lot today. Wisdom. That is a 16.
That's plenty. As these spores get sucked through the gaps in the fabric and you suck them into your lungs, you do feel a burning sensation within you,
Oh, we're wearing cloth masks. We're not
which is
wearing...
your
K95.
serious damage issues. However, you also feel a sort of cloudy fogginess in your brains as you're driving through this mushroom field.
Gross.
It passes quickly because you made all of your wisdom saving throws, but that could potentially be a bad thing later on.
Somebody gets points for... Was that you who thought that might happen? Somebody here thought that might
Yeah.
happen to you.
Kate's been on point tonight. She's guessed like 5
Yeah.
things correctly in a row.
Actually,
Really?
if we have an opportunity to come back here, that might be a good thing to harvest too. Is these forget-me-not spores?
I was actually
Yeah.
thinking of that, but I'm not
put
sure how
them
we
in
would
grenade
do that.
form and just like
Lob them at people?
do a heist and finish it off by pumping the air vents full of forgetting spores. And I don't even know why we're fighting.
I thought we were friends.
Would you like to stop to harvest them, or are you going to just keep driving?
No. This is like maybe if we have time on the way back kind of thing.
Yeah, we're still...
Not right. I would like to not get out in the forget dust.
All right. Driver, how fast do you want to approach the other traveling group?
Ramming speed! No, sorry.
Lulu wasn't able to give you an idea of how big this group is because all she could see was the clouds of dust and crap.
Can I estimate about how fast they're going?
Lulu will volunteer to fly up and take another look. She comes up, so I'll give her another roll on that actually, see if she can figure anything out. She says they look like they're going a little slower than the war machine is that you're driving right now.
Okay. Yeah, I want to like keep them in sight, but hang back pretty far, not make it obvious that we're.
She says they are traveling not away from you; they're coming towards you,
Oh.
but not directly at you. They're going towards you and a little bit to the north, like they're getting further away from the river.
Okay, so they're driving. They're driving like this way, sort of.
They might be heading for the ferry
It's true.
because that's about where we thought the ferry was, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Probably not much else to see on this.
Wait, but you said they're heading towards us?
Towards you-ish, but also heading to the north. So they're going northeast. You guys are going just straight west.
Do we want to wait until they pass us and get in behind them, or do we want to like wait till they pass us and then go up there and see if we can follow their tracks backwards?
So they're. Okay.
So let's see. You guys are somewhere in this region.
Mm-hmm.
They are somewhere over here, and you believe the ferry is right around here. So
Okay.
they're coming towards you, but also north,
Oh,
and you're
okay.
traveling this way. That helps to clarify a little bit.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So, I mean, they might help us find the ferry, but I don't think they're going to help us find Carol Baskin's tiger farm.
No.
Just fly casual.
Yeah. And I mean, at this point, too, the longer we keep looking for that long rest, the more rations we're gonna waste, and we're gonna end up in the same boat, like exhausted.
I say somebody else said fly casual. Let's just,
Maybe it's a
we'll go-
sleeper ferry. Maybe they have,
Yeah.
berths and...
Or maybe this is another one of these traveling emporiums, and maybe we can barter for a long rest. You never know. We're not sitting here by the side of the road is not going to solve any problems. Let's just go figure it
Let's
out.
pick a direction to go, because
Yeah.
I don't want to get
Yeah.
super turnstiles. So what's the plan? Where are you going?
We think the ferry is.
Yep,
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
heading towards the ferry. If
All
we
right.
pass this group, we pass them, or interact with them.
And so you're traveling at what speed? Do you want to get there before them, after them, during them? How do you want to do it?
About the same time.
About the same time. Okay. All right. Driving right along, you're able to use the ability of Lulu to fly up and gauge where they're traveling to sort of time it. So you get to where you believe the ferry would be, sort of triangulating the direction they're going as well, because you presume that they're probably going to the same place as you. Lulu is able to confirm after you get quite a bit closer that it does appear to be another traveling group, like a caravanserai. However, it seems to be staffed by a bunch of devilish creatures and devil-adjacent things, fiendish hobgoblins and the like. Stuff you've seen around in Hell at this point, enough to sort of know what they're about.
Oh, wasn't Van Tamper down here somewhere too?
Yes.
Yes. And there's a bounty on her head.
I think we're like 20 soul coins or something like that.
Yeah.
If she's part of this group, I kind of want to.
Cut her head off?
Well, yeah, but let's see if she's part of the group first.
Yeah, no, if she sees us, like, I feel like she's going to kill us immediately.
Be one way to.
Because, like, she's gonna be like, you
I
killed-
put an axe in her son.
Yeah, like,
I don't know who this,
Gusto, with aplomb.
I don't know who this chick is.
Oh yeah, that's true. You never, yeah.
I might live.
Trust me, you don't like her.
Okay.
All right.
her name's Thalamra.
It sounds like a bitch.
You don't know the half of it.
I very
never met
distinctly remember him describing her with, like, meaty hands.
Yeah. Well, she was the sewer duke.
Yeah.
so-
Yeah.
Queen
Not
of
to, not to usurp your throne.
If I recall
I'm
correctly,
just a sewer tourist.
she is a human, but she's sort of short and stout
Yeah.
and kind of looks like a dwarf.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a picture of her actually. If I can find her in the book real quick.
I go to
Or
sewers
maybe
for
she's
fun.
tall.
It's
I
not
can't
my
remember.
job.
One or the
I
other.
think she's tall.
She is like normal human height. She's not
Oh.
especially tall.
She had one son who was a giant.
But she is she's a chunk star.
Chunk star.
Bitches and hoes, West Coast. Let's see. She is. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. Yeah, here she is.
Oh yeah, she looks like she runs a girls' school.
Yo, the fucking forearms on her.
Yeah.
Damn.
Nurse
And
Ratchet.
she's got her fist out like bend over.
Yeah.
Searching for contraband.
She
Fucking
actually
beefier
started
than
her
a goddamn
career
softball team.
literally digging the sewers under Baldur's Gate. That was her first career.
She looks like she's about to search our unicorn for illicit spell components.
And then finger bang them right out of the unicorn's mouth.
Damn.
All right, well let's time our arrival at the ferry to be at the same time as this group and see if we
Yeah.
know anybody.
So it does appear to be a series of four-wheeled wagons being pulled by beasts of burden, which is something I actually haven't seen a lot of. We've seen a lot of these motorized vehicles all over the place, with the exception of Elanthius' chariot. I have the hiccups.
Oh god, are they
And
hippies?
Didn't,
the Wandering Emporium also has.
It has giant robotic beasts. Yeah,
Ah,
yeah. It has
okay.
some real beasts too, but mostly robots.
what about Centaurian Forceps? Wasn't his chariot pulled by something?
His chariot was in fact pulled by beasts.
Princeps Kovic?
Yeah, something like that.
Princess COVID.
Yeah, I think I
champion.
called him Prince Foreskin last
We
week.
did call him
so-
Prince Foreskin last time. Yeah.
But you do see some beasts of burden. They look sort of like, almost like rhinoceri that don't have the horn. It's just this big, like, gray, leathery, loping creatures with 3 toes of white enamel on their gray, pallid skin. It does appear the surface of their skin is slightly reflective, so it picks up some of the red and orange of the sky and the dirt around them. Might be some sort of a natural protection thing out here to protect them from predators. But they are gigantic beasts, maybe as large as a particularly big ox. And they use 2 of them to pull each of these wagons, which are about the same size you would expect from like a human caravan for a long distance travel with like sleeper arrangements in the back and stuff like that. There is a large painted fabric tabard held aloft on 2 posts held up at an angle from the front wagon that identifies them as the Alv Skrema Caravanserai.